Max, send a message, man. We're coming after you. We're going to come find you guys and get this thing rolling as soon as possible.
We're going to kick you in the teeth, all right? And when you punch us back, we're going to smile at you.
There we are. What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the I Don't Give a Football podcast. I'm Jonathan Risk, a.k.a. Habibi, and I am joined with the man next to me hailing from Michigan, MG Geek. MG, we made it 2 weeks in a row. Look at us. Who would have thought?
Wow, the streak is alive.
Here we go. Fucking
Michigan, where is that at? What country is that?
Michigan is the part of the state that's connected to Wisconsin.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Funk Master Flex Night.
Drop a bomb in a Funk Master Flex Night for everybody at home. Listen.
Here we go. Just to get going.
Yeah, just to get going. As always, if you're listening, subscribing, or whatever you're doing, just like, subscribe, follow, tell a friend, all that good stuff. MG, as you texted me, the NFL is on crack. Let's get into it.
Were you able to watch most of the games live?
Yeah, so I've been rocking YouTube TV this year. So I've been having the 4-box with one of the boxes having Red Zone in. And then for my 1 o'clock this weekend, I had the Raiders on one. I had the Panthers Falcons on another. I had Red Zone. And then I believe I had Pittsburgh in my top left one. So that's what I was watching for the 1 o'clock. For the 4 o'clock, I turned it off. I was pissed. So I was done watching football after 4 o'clock on Sunday. But you had to wait until Monday, MG. So I'm sure that you took in a plethora of Sunday football. So we had a lot of upsets. We had a lot of close finishes. I have still yet to hit a single big money parlay this year. I'm not over. I've had some, but not any big money ones. So MG, what the fuck is going on in the NFL? Talk to me, bud.
Oh my God, there was so much stuff. Let's start in Cleveland, where all of a sudden the daunted Green Bay Packers, as they were anointed for the first 2 weeks, they came in and just Cleveland. Okay, breaking news: Cleveland Browns has a defense. Has a defense.
Well, they've always had a defense. It's just. It's only been one guy.
Yeah, and I think it's safe to say that Jordan Love, maybe inexperience, kind of showed there, because they couldn't get nothing, and then all of a sudden Joe Flacco comes in and actually wakes up and they win the game. So
Joe Flacco will do that. Remember, Joe Flacco almost took the Browns to the playoffs 2 years ago.
Absolutely. So I thought that was an interesting game. Jordan Davis single-handedly saving the Eagles' ass over the Rams with that block kick and rumbling down the field for a touchdown.
Yep, saw that.
He's the game. That was great. Then the Jets did it. They blocked a field goal.
Yep.
Only to have Super
memes. One of the best memes to come out of the weekend. I saw, Glenn dancing, jotting down the sideline. It was big talk on sports talk radio here in the tri-state area Monday.
Yeah, he gets excited. He's fun to watch on the sideline for sure. And I know that from when he was here. But then I said it last week, my hot take on Baker Mayfield. Lo and behold, there's like a minute and some change left. And I goes, yeah, he's going to go down to score. And he did.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing he did to the Raiders on Thursday Night Football after being on the Rams for 3 days. This is what Baker Mayfield does, and I just don't understand.
I think it was like a day and a half or like 2 days.
Yeah, whatever it was, it shouldn't have happened.
It was 72 hours. I remember that quote. It was 72 hours. Which is
actually, that reminds me to pull up this stat for when we get into the fucking Raiders conversation, because I'm angry and I have statistics and receipts.
Okay.
But yeah, don't remember what we were talking about.
But we were talking about Mayfield, and then
yeah, I just don't understand why people are down in Mayfield. Mayfield, I just think is like, I don't know. I've always actually liked Baker Mayfield since he lived in the Browns Stadium for Hulu. I just like always loved his little grit. I just thought there's some poverty franchises. We all know them. Let's say them together. You have the Browns, you have the Jets, you have the Jaguars, you got the Panthers, you got these poverty franchises around the NFL that will just be cursed and good for maybe a very short period of time. If that, maybe take the Panthers out of there. I'll probably get yelled at for that one. But regardless, you have these poverty franchises, the Bears, we'll replace them with the Bears that just can't seem to get shit right. And you know, at the end of the day, Baker Mayfield was strapped with a handful of those teams throughout his career, playing on the Browns, playing on the Panthers, where he was what do they call it? Why am I losing? A scout defensive end.
Right.
You know what I mean? He was in LA, which is not a poverty organization, but when they were in St. Louis, maybe. But, you know, he's in Tampa, which is a solid organization. I personally, as a Raiders fan, would have welcomed Caleb, I'm reading the notes, would have welcomed Baker Mayfield on my team when he was a free agent that year. I wanted him, but it just didn't happen. So stop overlooking Baker Mayfield. And that's probably all the nice things I'm allowed to say about him.
Okay.
In my quota. But MG, let's talk about your division, because actually, let's not talk about the first thing you have here in your division, because that goes into the Raiders conversation, because my team plays a team in your division, and we'll talk about that here in my segment. But let's talk about the prodigal son returning home. And I'm talking about Mr. Carson Bartholomew Wentz returning to his childhood. Fucking hey, my chair just broke. I'm glad we got that on camera. Okay. Say that one more time. The Minnesota Vikings MG. Carson fucking Wentz went off. Talk to me about it. Jesus, I almost broke my back.
That was too funny. I really didn't think anything of this, and then I looked at the stats. This game I didn't really watch much. So I had it on Red Zone for a minute, but I was like, holy hell, they're just trucking the Bengals. The Bengals have issues though, man, but you'd think they would be better, especially on defense, but they're not.
Why?
And now with the
why would you? So here's the question. I have this question for a multitude of teams, right? I can't talk my normal shit about the Chargers because they're good this year. But there's all these teams that everybody is like, you don't expect them to be bad. I put the Bengals in there. Like I said, I normally put the Chargers in there. I normally put the Broncos in there. I put the Cardinals in there. I put these teams that always get this offseason hype. Normal people say the Cowboys, but people are kind of aware of the Cowboys bullshit and propaganda at this point, so leave them off. But you have these teams, the Titans you could put on there, that every year they're almost crowned like they're going to win their division. They're going to do all these great things because of one or two pieces here, but they have all these obvious holes. And like, I just don't understand how we continuously, after all the things we see with the Cincinnati Bengals, we continuously crown them as someone that can compete in that division with the Steelers, with the Ravens. I get it. Derrick Henry all of a sudden has bricks of butter for hands and can't hold on to the football. I understand.
We'll get into that.
The Steelers are not the Steelers that we're used to. I understand that, but you can't put the Bengals in the conversation just because they have Joe Burrow and two wide receivers when they don't have an offensive line nor a defense to complement them. I'm just tired of it.
They got one defensive player.
I'm tired of and sorry, this ain't the NBA. One player doesn't change your whole outcome as a team.
And and part of that too is the
and he's my age and my back hurts.
The self-inflicted front office that just they can't get out of their own way and sign the players they should and make their team better. That's a lot of the Bengals problem. They and let's face it, Joe Burrow not being there, they might as well just tank their season and try to get some good draft capital, in my opinion. But they won't. But yeah, so
you want to know the smartest thing for the Bengals?
Mm-hmm.
The smartest thing for the Bengals would be to just ride out the season, try to get the number 1 pick, and then move Burrow for a number 1 pick. And now you're able to restart. You have all this draft capital, freaking you restart with a fresh defense, and then you're able to do what they want to do, and that's build a good team without paying anybody.
Yeah, and you need to at least draft, if you can draft a number 1 offensive lineman, a big tackle, because that's one thing, that line is just, it's Swiss cheese, and they definitely need to fix that. So, and they're going to get another quarterback hurt if they don't.
Yeah. So talk to me about Sunday night. You know, the saying goes, waiting all day for a Sunday night. Would like to point out that song makes no sense as a football fan, because I'm enjoying the whole day Sunday, and particularly as a Raiders fan. I know MG could speak to this because he went through it. When your team's not good, you're not really waiting for Sundays. You're kind of done with your day around 5 o'clock when your team's not good.
At that point, I seek out the best games and watch those, and look at my lens at football changes, and I think you're going through a little bit of that now. But so I got to tell you, by the way, did you get your room cleaned up? Did you get your room cleaned up? That football that came through your window Sunday night?
No, there's glass everywhere still.
Jesus.
Russell Wilson threw the ball through the tunnel straight into my window here, roughly only 10 minutes away from MetLife Stadium. It was crazy. I was peacefully sleeping in my apartment.
I was like, I never seen a worse meltdown. He hit the uprights.
And you know what's crazy?
Oh my God.
You know what's crazy is because of the TV delay, I got hit in the head with the football, and then I saw the throw. It's crazy. I got hit with the head, and then I saw the throw. It was spectacular because there's the delay with television. But
that was so
it was pitiful. It was pitiful, and they could have beat the Chiefs because the Chiefs suck. Yeah,
the Chiefs are not good. We'll talk about them later, but they didn't look good, and I was like, this is a terrible game, but I'm here for the Giants.
I don't even know if we got to talk to them later. I just don't know if a outcome has been more obvious. So at this point, we're all in agreement that Travis was 1,000% going to propose after the Chiefs won the Super Bowl and then retire in the same speech and have his happily ever after. And then the Eagles fucked that all up. And now he has to play another year when he was already retired in his head and try not to suck.
He doesn't look, and Andy Reid was furious with him at one point. So I don't know what's going on in KC.
I don't know if that was fury. You know I saw that clip. I saw that clip, and it looked more of just trying to get a little bit of energy out of him. Because you could just see it in his face. Like, look at his eyes. He does not want to be there. He looks like a senior in high school in June. Like, he's done.
Right.
Check that.
Senioritis.
He ain't there no more.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got senioritis.
It's pretty much a given he's going to retire after this year. It just makes too much sense.
Yeah. But, go live happily ever after. Go tour the world. But all of that brings in for somebody who I wanted the Raiders to draft. Talked highly of him during our offseason conversation. Jaxson Dart. Hopefully he got his easy pass thing taken care of, but he will also now be the starter for the New York Football Giants. And
they wanted him in that game so bad. The fans were just like, just rip the Band-Aid off and we're gonna suck anyway. I just worry that sometimes when you put a young quarterback like that in, and there are weaknesses around them, you wonder if it's going to affect them long term. But he seems like this seems like a smart guy that'll figure it out.
Yeah, sports talk radio is kind of on the fence, right? People don't want him rushed in. People want the Patrick Mahomes treatment where he sits behind somebody for a little bit. All that good stuff.
Did 3 games. There you
go. It is an interesting game to start him against highly touted defense in the Chargers. So that makes me nervous for the kid. But other than that, I mean, as a Raiders fan, I'm obviously rooting for him this weekend. I want him to go out and throw 500 yards, 12 touchdowns, and take a shit in Jim Harbaugh's lap. Like, that's if he could do all of that, that'd be a good day for him. So, I'm pulling for him. But we can speak about it.
Yeah, I'm going to skip the special team stuff.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go down to San Francisco. They're in a world of hurt.
Okay.
Nick Bosa out for the season. He's torn ACL. That
Correct.
affects my NFC quite a bit because that's one big piece on that team. So
yeah, but they do have a good defense. I think, I think that comes down to the Rams and them. And it's really just going to be who stays healthy. Mac Jones is balling now, which is insane.
Yeah,
Hilarious.
Yeah. What's his the guy that was in New York playing for Indy now?
Daniel Jones, Indiana Jones, as they call him.
Yeah, Daniel Jones. He's coming. He's turning his career around. So they got two quarterbacks that were potentially pretty much ass. And now they're both look like they're balling out pretty good. So we'll see. The other big injury, it sounds like Najee Harris might be gone.
Yeah, he's done for the season.
That affects
after 3 weeks.
Your division.
Not really. They were sharing handoffs with him and the rookie, so I just expect the rookie to get more burn. In week 1, he only had 1 carry, and I think I had it in my rant last week that he had more carries and he's still averaging. He ends the season averaging more yards, I think, than Ashton Jeanty. But we will.
Well, you want to rip that Band-Aid off and go into that now?
We could talk about it. Yeah, we could talk about the
State of the Union of the Raiders. Is that what we're doing?
State of the nation is what it would be. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's get right into the Raiders. The Raiders were playing against the Commanders in DC, and they got embarrassed. So the question is, what's the Raiders' problem? And guess what? Habibi would tell you. Habibi knows the answer.
Here we go.
Pete Carroll needs to. What happened? Was that too loud?
No, you're fine.
Pete Carroll needs to do the right thing. He needs to do the correct thing, and he needs to take his son. Right? Okay. Walk up to his son who has an office. It's the offensive line coach's office. Just walk up to his son. Walk up to Brennan. Grab him by the beard. Walk him down the hallway. Take him into the parking lot. Take him to his vehicle. Just nicely, just by the beard. Put him into the vehicle. Close the door and tell him a handful of things. Tell him, 1, he is fired as the offensive line coach for the Las Vegas Raiders. 2, he will now be changing his name and taking his mother's maiden name for his last name. And 3, he's been removed from the family will. Because all of those things, I think, only scratch the surface of an appropriate punishment for how this offensive line has been performing. Ashton Jeanty, I gave a lot of ick last week because I want him. And I think the Sunday Night Football game kind of proved my point of everything I was saying last week. You're welcome. I tried to warn you about Cam Scatterboo. He has entered your life. You're welcome.
He was awesome. He was the only thing that the Giants had going that game.
Yeah. The real fact of the matter is Ashton Jeanty has been hit but at or behind the line of scrimmage 57% of his carries so far this year. It is a ridiculous stat. I think Jackson Powers-Johnson, 1, he should have been playing. Alex Kappa needs to be sent somewhere with Brennan. He's terrible. Jackson Powers-Johnson should be your starting center, I believe, is playing right guard because, once again, my point, we should have drafted a right guard instead of a running back, but that's a rant for last week. So we're getting Jackson Powers-Johnson back this week, so that is promising. But I'm just telling you, MG, and this is just me as a football fan, a football player, a football watcher. I hate the zone blocking scheme. I've never once seen it work. Not once when I was a player blocking in it, not once as a Raiders fan watching it. I've played in the zone blocking scheme multiple times in high school. When I played in college, it was zone blocking. Never seen it work. All those teams that I ran that had it were terrible. Man up blocking. Put your big boy pants on. Get the big boys in there. If you're fat and able to get in somebody's way, please show up to the Raiders facility to try to help out this offensive line. God damn it. Someone, I don't care if we get a janitor. Brennan Carroll needs to be evacuated out of Vegas. And I'm at a loss I'm tired of it. Once again, Sunday Night Football proved my point. You got the Bears coming up. They're coming to your house. Ben Johnson, the guy that flipped you the birds. And MG, I said I wanted to pull up a stat, so here's the stat. Actually, it just went away. Let me pull it up here again. You ready for this?
I am.
2018, the Raiders lost to backup Nick Mullins. 2019, the Raiders lost to backup Drew Lock. 2020, the Raiders lost to backup Ryan Fitzpatrick. 2022, the Raiders lost to backup Andy Dalton and backup Baker Mayfield. 2023, the Raiders lost to backup Tyson Bagent. 2024, the Raiders lost to backup Andy Dalton. And added to the fucking list, 2025, the Raiders lost to backup Marcus Mariota. When can this curse stop? I said it last week, and I'll keep saying it. You will not be considered a good franchise when you're losing consistently to backup quarterbacks. Okay? That's where you become poverty level franchise. When you can't beat a backup quarterback since 2018. Nearly a decade. A decade. This is a streak that only can be compared to Undertaker's WrestleMania streak. Please end this one quicker. For the love of God.
So can I give what I think is a positive point? I try to dig you out of the totally going downhill here. I felt
what are
like
positive
at least
points,
one drive that I watched that I think it's the one they scored on. They seem like they're trying to using Ass and Genti better, but obviously they're not there.
There's
yet.
no one blocking for him.
They were trying.
No one blocking for it. The only silver lining I'll give you as a Raiders fan is Trey Tucker after 3 seasons is finally coming on. Trey Tucker's having himself a hell of a season 3 weeks in. And if you're into gambling, you should start putting Trey Tucker over on yards and anytime touchdown because he's almost 3 for 3. He's at least 2 in 2 games. I don't remember if he has one in all 3, but I'm pretty sure he does. No, because week 2, Monday Night Football, we didn't score a touchdown. So week 1 and week 3, Trey Tucker scored our touchdowns. But that's the only silver lining. That's the only silver lining.
And the draft approach has to be different. My guy here, Brad Holmes, he recognized early on that they needed to beef up the lines, and he emphasized that every draft. And when the first pick he gets is Penny Sewell, we got something going on. So
but you would think that like Spytech comes from the Tampa Bay Bucks GM tree. And front office tree. So they build in the trenches. So this is not a problem of ineptitude. This is just
I think it was you see the shiny toy and you go you somehow get seduced to take the shiny toy over a real need.
You bought the Ferrari when you live up in the mountains.
Correct. Great.
Like thank you, man. This is what I do.
You needed big people. And hopefully going forward, you guys will turn it around in next year's draft.
I don't want to talk about next year's draft in week 3 anymore, though. Like I'm tired of looking forward to the draft after week 3.
I agree with you.
The thing is like, if you would have told me, MG, that the season, like the record, just talking about the record, like if you would have told me we went 1-2 in our first 3 games and we beat the Patriots, lost to the Chargers, lost to the Commanders, I would have agreed with you and said, yeah, that's possible. Not a bad start. 2 tough teams. But when you throw Marcus Mariota in there, you got to steal that victory, because that's one that wasn't going to be a win on the schedule as is. Jaden Daniels is better than Geno Smith. But is Marcus Mariota better than Geno Smith? I don't know. But his offensive line was, and that's the main difference. And you have to steal those victories if you want to make it far in this league. And they just haven't done it since fucking 2017. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. So that's it.
Good?
But also, I will say this. I'm buying a Giants Cam Scatterboo jersey.
Oh, he's my new fun player in the league now. I saw him at, where does he play? Arizona State? Is that where he plays?
Motherfucker. Why you think I love him so much?
Yeah,
I got to enjoy him all last year for my alma mater. I am a Sun Devil. We are that, I grew up a Rutgers fan, which is why I like my Rutgers players too. But, we went to Arizona State, got our degree there. Big Sun Devils fan. And you know what? Honestly, if the Raiders suck, I hope we get Sam Levitt or Tyson, the wide receiver, because let me tell you, we don't talk much college football here. And thank God, because I'd be having a hissy fit that Arizona State still is not back in the top 25. Still furious about that, because we have Sam Levitt, who is a surefire Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. So get us in the top 25. We got the best quarterback in the country running circles around the fucking country, but no one sees because our games are at 11 o'clock at night on the East Coast because we're in Arizona State. So we'd like to just say that.
Well, we get a Big Ten window now of 11 o'clock at night, which no one loves either. So, do you want to talk about stealing a victory?
Yeah, tell me about your Monday night showdown between the Lions and the Rams.
Showdown.
Who are you? The Lions and the Ravens. Sorry.
Showdown that turned into an absolute mugging. Jesus, I did not. Okay, so not only did I not, like we go back and you and I, like in April, all the schedules come out, and every single fan of your team, either do it quietly or maybe together, and you and I will kind of go back and forth on it, and you'll do the win-loss. Okay, they'll win that game, they'll lose that game. Everybody I know, everybody in Detroit, every expert had marked this game as a loss. So this was definitely stealing a victory. I got to tell you, when that game started and when we go down, we score right away. Then they get the ball back and they get the ball to Derrick Henry, and he rumbles on for 28 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go and you say, oh, you got probably won. He only had 35 yards in that game yesterday. 28 of it on that one run. And then they just shut him down. And there's a couple of reasons why. But the Lions, the offense came out really, I would say, efficient. And then this is some sort of record. I meant to look it up, but 2 drives and 90+ yards. The one started at the tail end of the first quarter and went almost to like 5 minutes left of the second quarter. They just were eating the ball. Couple of the stats, obviously, David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, 254 yards and 4 touchdowns. Golf 20 of 28 for 200 yards and a touchdown to on. Amase Brown had a fourth quarter, 4th and 5, I believe it was, catch, and they just bared down on him. And then I want you to say this name with me.
Am I supposed to be looking for it?
No. I'm just going to say it. I wanted to remember. I got El Quadim. Say it. El-Quadin Muhammad.
El-Quadin Muhammad. Yeah.
2.5 sacks because
And one came in like the final minutes of the game.
Yeah. And because they were pressuring so much at Hutchinson that everything was going to him. And I think in the fourth quarter especially, I think that our coverage was so good. A lot of those sacks, those 7 sacks of Lamar Jackson, were coverage sacks mostly because he just couldn't find anybody. And then when he tried to scramble out of it, we got people behind him and were able to surround him, which was something we've never been able to do with him before.
Yeah.
Going back to that game a couple of years ago. And then so let's talk about this play. You got Derrick Henry, get him the ball, and then they were able to get Aiden Hutchinson on the outside around him, and he pops the ball out for this is a third game as many weeks. Henry's fumbled.
Yeah.
And then we get the ball back and just David Montgomery down the sideline, touchdown, game over. It's just it was so satisfying, and I felt. And I heard a lot of the talk radio today say it here in Detroit. This might have been the Lions' best overall win as far as I've been a fan, as far as just an overall top to bottom from every aspect of game, and just as a win. So I loved it. I thought it was something interesting, something great. And I don't know. They're going to be a force. Next week, we do get the Browns. We already talked about them a little bit. But they're going to be – their defense is going to be tough. But the difference between us and Green Bay is I think the experience of the quarterback. I think Jared will be able to bust out some of those passes or some of those – he'll be able to get some of those blitzes, and we'll be fine. And we're only going to need to score like 3 touchdowns, I think, will win it with their offense. So, but we'll see what it is. It's nice to see. So, Marcus Davenport, who was supposed to be their edge rusher opposite Hutchinson, they put him out on IR, and I think it's a torn pec, a slightly torn pec, or something like that. I don't know what it is for sure, but he's out for a while. And this is the 3rd year in a row that he's gone out. So it's going to be hard, man, with him. The guy, but, they got Muhammad, so he's going to fill in, and we'll see where they go. They're going to get a bunch of guys back slowly on defense. But as far as week 3, and I saw it in the power rankings, which we'll get into the power rankings later, they are, I would say, moved up a lot of people's rating. It put the league on notice. Hey, we didn't go anywhere. We'll be fine. So, I don't know. You got any thoughts on any of that or no?
No, not really. I mean, I think you guys are back. Got to prove a little bit more to me just to see you guys all the way back. Just because it's still early too, right? Mm-hmm. It's still week 3, right? So there's still so much unknown. We're talking about the Chiefs being dead, and they could be in the AFC Championship here in a couple months. So,
I will say this. What scared me the most about that game is when they started it, and the lights went out, and all the pyro starts, and the Ravens are getting ready to take the field. Like, oh, this is going to be a nightmare. Because it just know it goes into that place and does that. So that's what was so dominating about it. When you go into a place it's like revered like that, and you put that kind of ass whooping on the home team, you did something right. Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, you want to do you? Go ahead.
Let's skip past hot takes this weekend. I feel a little too exhausted for hot takes. Too hot for hot takes. It's still 80 degrees. Let's get into the power rankings because we missed this last week and I want to get into it this week. But I want to do something fun. So I got the NFL.com power rankings up. You got the ESPN power rankings up. So
we're gonna compare, right?
I think we should go down the list. Now, the question is, do you want to go from number 1 to 32, or let's start at 32 and go to 1? I think that would be more apropos.
Okay. All right. Let me go all the way down.
And while you do that, I'll just tell you, number 32 on NFL.com's ranking, they're down 2 spots from where they were last week, but that's the New Orleans Saints.
Same on ESPN's.
Would you agree with them, MG?
They blow. They don't have a quarterback.
So
I mean, there's a lot of these teams at the bottom. You can almost just flip them around and go up and down, and but yeah. So until they win something, until they show some life, yeah, it's accurate.
Yeah. Okay. Well, next, number 31 on NFL.com is the Miami Dolphins.
Interesting. Tennessee Titans are for ESPN.
Okay. Well, who would you agree with more? The 0-3 Dolphins, who NFL has up 1 spot, so they were 32 last week, or would you go with what ESPN has as you said who?
Tennessee Titans.
The Tennessee Titans with a rookie quarterback.
Yeah. I like yours, Miami. Miami should be better than that. So
okay.
I would go with them.
Okay. And at number 30, the NFL.com says the New York Giants, and they're down 3 spots from the previous week.
This is correct. This is the same. So I wish I could say they're better. Or they should be higher, but they are losing. You're right. Cam Scatable is the only thing to watch on that team. So
yeah. Well, I like Neighbors and I like the receivers. They really just need a quarterback. They got a good defense. They got good weapons. If you actually think about the Giants as an organization, that's why everyone is like, Dable can't coach. That's why
man.
that's kind of the consensus here when I listen to my ESPN radio New York while I'm working is people are it's 2 things. 1, they're concerned about rushing Dart onto the field. Normal concern. I get that. Number 2, the overall consensus is this team has the pieces. The coaches just suck at coaching.
Amen.
And
sounds about right.
That's where I think the tri-state area is. Once again, not a Giants fan. I just am here, so I hear it all. And I like sports radio in the afternoon. And unfortunately, with West Coast time constraints, I don't have any sports radio on. Like the sports radio I would listen to that I technically listen to at 4 in the afternoon is on now. Right. And it's 9 o'clock at night. I'm not staying up to listen.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go to number 29. This one's going to be different, obviously. For me, I have the Tennessee Titans, who are down 3 spots from where they were previous week.
This is where Miami landed.
Okay.
So I think they just flip-flop those 2.
Yeah.
I got a question for you.
I got maybe an answer.
Okay. Mike McDaniel, is he going to make the season?
Probably not.
He looks like a lost little boy on the side.
He'll be a great UFL coach.
Yeah. He just looks completely overwhelmed in his facial expressions. I know he's not, but he looks beat. He looks done. So we'll see. But yeah, they got 29 on here.
Number 28, again, I got the New York Jets.
They have the same here as well.
All right. Yeah. And I think that Aaron Glenn yet to have a victory as a head coach. So your coordinators are what? 1-5?
Correct.
Okay. Number 27, NFL.com has the New England Patriots dropping down 2 spots.
Interesting. ESPN has Carolina here.
Okay. I would probably put Carolina over the Patriots. But I guess you put 30-0 on an opponent, but that might beg to argue like on my list, should the Falcons be below the Patriots?
Right. That's the first thing that came to my mind when I'm reading through all this.
All right. But number 26, NFL.com, down 2 spots. Not happy about this. The Las Vegas Raiders are number 26.
Yeah, this is where things get wonky with these 2 lists. They're a little different. They have the Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
Up to 30. So they went up with a win over the Packers. And I think you could have, in an argument, you could have put them up even higher.
Yeah. And I guess that the next one is number 25. That's where NFL.com has the Cleveland Browns coming up 6 spots from the previous week. So right there, they put them ahead of the Raiders who lost, which, number 24, or who's your number 25?
This is where they have the Patriots.
Okay. Number 24 for NFL.com is the Cowboys.
Same here for the Cowboys, which I don't think I don't have any issue with that one.
Number 23, Houston Texans, 0-3 team being this high.
Okay, that's far a farce. They have ESPN has the Chicago Bears, which makes sense because they beat the Cowboys and they should be ranked higher than them. So that makes sense to me.
Okay, I think I agree. I think Houston Texans should be way lower than any team with a win if you're 0-3. Number 22, NFL.com has the Falcons.
You'll be happy about this. Second week in a row, the Raiders are at 22.
Okay, I could be happy with 22. I'm happier with 22 than 28.
Yeah.
Or
the Panthers, the other one.
Yeah, sorry. The Panthers are 21 on NFL.com.
This is where they have the Texans. This makes Texans until you win a game. There's just so many bad teams. We're getting into the better teams though. But yeah, Texans should be lower for me than 21.
The Bengals I got at 20.
Same here.
I got the Bears at 19.
And they have the Falcons at 19.
Interesting to have the Falcons that high.
Yeah.
Also interesting to have the Bears that high, in my opinion. Next, they have the Cardinals at 18.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
See,
they are a weird team, man.
And NFL.com has them at 17 for me.
Okay, and Pittsburgh is at 17 for ESPN. So I don't know what to think about the Steelers.
Yeah, they're at 16 for NFL.
Yeah, this is where they're all kind of jumbled together, and they're going to be 1 or 2 points different. There's one team I'm going to rant on for a minute when we get there, because it irritates the hell out of me. Arizona Cardinals at 16 on this list.
Okay. I got 15 is the Broncos.
Okay. And the same here, Broncos. Which
I got 15 Vikings, 14 Broncos. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. And they have the Seahawks at 14 here, which is probably about right.
And I got Seahawks at 13 on this one.
Yeah, and they have the 13 for ESPN is the Vikings. Interesting. I didn't think they would. They beat the Bengals. They're 2-1. Yeah, okay. I thought they might be a little higher, but okay. With the quarterback change, maybe they're figuring that in. What you got for 12?
I got the 49ers.
Interesting. They have the Colts here. I thought the Colts would be a little higher for ESPN.
Well, one's that's shocking me being number 11 because I think they should be in the 20s. The Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, we'll get into. Hold on. Hold your beer. Hold my beer. We'll get there in a second.
Well, I got
San Francisco 49ers are 11 on this list.
Okay. Number 10 on my list is the Rams. And then I'll just go through my final because I really don't have any rants going. I got 9 Colts, 8 Commanders, 7 Ravens, 6 Packers, 5 Bucks, 4 Chargers, 3 Detroit, 2 Buffalo, and 1 Philadelphia.
There isn't much differences. They have the Commanders at 10. Then here's the one that pisses me off. Kansas City Chiefs are 1-2, and they got them at 9. ESPN has this, hard on for freaking Patrick Mahomes and all things Kelsey that they got to keep bringing them up there. So, not a fan. Definitely not a fan.
They are down 8 spots, though.
Yeah.
If that matters to you.
Yeah, they were like up there last week, and they hadn't won a game yet. That was even more egregious. I was going to rant on that last week. Then it gets more reasonable. The Rams at 8, lost that heartbreaker against Philly. The Ravens obviously dropped down after we emasculated them.
Mhm.
And so they dropped 4 spots on this list. And then the Buccaneers, which Buccaneers are going to make some noise.
They're up 10 spots.
Yeah, up 10 spots. And then we get in the Packers, who lost 3 spots. They're down. And I told you this team was going to win your division, Los Angeles Chargers, and they're looking pretty good. So we'll see if they're number 4. Then my Lions are number 3. I think they might go up a little bit. Buffalo Bills 2 and Philly 1. In my opinion, you could flip-flop Buffalo and Philly, and it wouldn't make any difference. They're both really right there.
Yeah. Well, that's this week's power rankings. We'll go on to it more next week. MG, I don't want to take too much time on this. Make sure you're taking notes this week, please, so we can take track of the score. But let's get into our game picks, powered by the Matmen Pro Wrestling Podcast. We're using Action Network once again because we still have yet to rehire interns to make the graphics. So we will start with our Thursday night game using FanDuel because that's what I use. You could go to my Instagram account @officialrisk and check out my Habibi Bets channel that is on my Instagram profile and join in on all my bets every Saturday and Sunday with FanDuel. So we'll be using that. So for the Seahawks at the Cardinals, FanDuel says the Cardinals are favorited by 1.5. So who are you taking?
Ooh, I will take it. Juicy.
You taking the Cardinals?
Cardinals, yeah. Cardinals, and I'll lay the points.
Okay. I'll
Lay
take
the 1.5.
I'll take Seahawks. I think Seahawks win this by a field goal. So I think they cover the spread. Next, we have the Minnesota Vikings against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers are home dogs. Vikings are 2.5-point favorites on the road.
Ooh. I'm gonna take the dog here. I don't know if I trust Carson Wentz consistently yet. So we'll see. We'll see how we do. And Aaron Rodgers has got to find a nut somewhere sometime. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Carson Wentz. I think the Carson Wentz magic keeps on going. Okay. Yeah. Next, we go on to the Los Angeles Chargers coming here to MetLife Stadium, New Jersey. The New York Giants, led by Jaxson Dart, are home dogs. Chargers 6.5-point favorites. MG.
I think they cover. They cover the 6.5. I'll take the Chargers.
Okay. I'm going to say the Giants cover the spread, and I'll tell you why, MG. Okay. I think this is one of those West Coast teams going to East Coast, catch them sleeping, not have a lot of film on Jaxson Dart, the rookie. Like we said, they have weapons. Let's not forget they have 2 good receivers, possibly a great receivers and neighbors. And then what's a young quarterback's best friend? A strong run game. And now you have Scatterboo in the backfield knocking heads. So I think at minimum, the Giants can scare the Chargers, much like the Denver and Indianapolis game went week 2. And I think Giants at minimum could keep this a field goal game. Comes down to a field goal for the Chargers to possibly win by a point at the end of the game, or maybe the Giants win by a point with a field goal at the end of the game. But I think that's a walk-off field goal is how this game ends, and I'm going to say the Giants cover the spread here.
Okay.
So next we go on to the Carolina Panthers on the road. New England Patriots. Patriots are 5.5-point favorites. MG, what say you?
I'll take the points, or I'll lay the points and take the Patriots here.
Okay, I'm going to take the Panthers again. 30 burger in a division rival game. Once again, I said this after week 2. They hung in there against the Cardinals. So I think the Panthers will hang in there against the Patriots, and I think they'll cover that 5.5-point spread. Going on to our next game, you have the Philadelphia Eagles traveling down to Tampa Bay, where Tampa Bay are home dogs, 3.5 points. A lot of home dogs this weekend. MG, this might be the game of the week. Well, it's not. It's a 1:00 game on Fox, probably.
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean sometimes they're dumb like that. After what maybe at the beginning of the season they didn't think that Tampa would be this good, but so what'd you say? What they're laying how many points?
3.5 point
3.5
favorite Philadelphia is.
Ooh. Oh man, I want to take them so bad. Oh my God, this is juicy. For me, this might be the game of the week. God, it's such a hard number. I want to take Tampa so bad, but damn it, I'll lay the points and take the Eagles.
Okay, I'm gonna go against you. I'm gonna take the home dogs again. I think Buccaneers covered the spread. Keep it close.
Yeah.
Yeah. On to the next game. The Commanders on the road against the Falcons. Falcons are 1.5 point favorite. I don't know the status on Jaden Daniels, though. Falcons are 1.5 point home dogs.
Okay. And no Jaden Daniels, probably.
Not sure. I think it's still questionable.
Marcus Mariota for the win.
I'm going to go Mariota as well. Mariota in a dome on turf. We'll get the job done. Next, we go on to your game, MG. The Cleveland Browns travel to Detroit to take on the Lions, who are an 8.5 point home favorite. MG, 8.5 points. What say you?
Because the Browns can't score to save their lives. I think it's safe to go with the Lions. Take the point or lay the points and take the Lions. Baffled on that one? I think it'll be a 2-score game.
I'm going to for some reason, something inside of me is trying to say that the Browns just beat the Packers. Don't sleep on them. But I'm going to sleep on them. I'm going to say that the Lions cover this spread. I don't think the Browns do it 2 weeks in a row. MG, on to the next game. So the next game, you have the Tennessee Titans on the road in Houston. They are 7.5 point dogs on the road. MG, what say you?
Oh, I think they're going to cover that. I'll take the Titans.
I think so too. I just don't. I mean, how you 7.5 point favorites and you haven't won a game? That's my thing. On to a doozy. You got the New Orleans Saints on the road against the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are 16.5 point favorites.
And I will take it. Jesus.
Yeah, that's a hard one not to take. I'm gonna take the Bills there too.
Yeah.
Colts Rams. Colts are on the road in Los Angeles. 4 o'clock game. 3.5 point spread. Rams are favored.
I think they'll win this by a touchdown. I'll take the Rams.
Okay. Colts are looking really good, man.
Yeah, I know, but it's in LA. They seem to play better there, so we'll see.
Yeah, fair. All right, I'll go with the Rams too. So next you have the Jaguars at the 49ers. 49ers are 3.5 point favorites with, I believe, Mac Jones still at quarterback. What say you?
God, I have a hard time figuring. Chargers?
That's what?
Well, what game are we doing? Oh my God, I just had a brain fart. You tell me the game.
Jaguars at 49ers. 49ers are 3.5 point favorites. Did you just have a stroke?
Somehow my brain went, or Jaguars or Chargers. I got the 49ers here.
Okay. MG had his stroke. I'm going to go with the Jaguars covering 3.5 points.
I can't trust the Jaguars at all.
Ravens on the road against the Chiefs. Chiefs are home dogs. 2.5 point spread. And the Ravens are going in as a favorite.
I think the Ravens are going to want to get this mouthwash out and rinse their mouths out, and they're going to do it against some. They're going to do it while Taylor watches. So I think I will definitely take the Ravens here.
I'm going to take the Chiefs covering 2.5, but I think the Ravens win by a point.
Okay.
Or by a field goal. I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Whatever makes sense for the Ravens to win, but the Chiefs still cover the spread is what I think happens. Whatever that answer is. On to my game, the Chicago Bears, your former offense coordinator, comes into Vegas where the Raiders are 1.5 point favorites. This flipped.
Interesting.
I saw this open up yesterday with the Bears a 3.5 point favorite. So this is flipped. MG, what say you?
Oh, God, I want to do you a solid here, but I think the Bears are going to take this.
Okay. Normally I would, after the couple weeks I've had, normally I would probably go against the Raiders, but I think Jackson Johnson returns to the Raiders starting offensive line, and hopefully that revitalizes some things, and we pull this victory out. I'm going to say the Raiders cover that 1.5 point spread. On to the next game. You have the Packers. You have the Cowboys. Cowboys are home, and they're 6.5 point dogs. MG, what say you? MG, so next game, we have Packers, Cowboys. Cowboys are home dogs, 6.5 points. What say you?
I'm going to go with the Packers here.
All right, I will go with the Packers as well. They put a smacker down to get some revenge. On to the Jets, Dolphins. Dolphins home, 2.5 point favorites. Why is this a primetime game? Who knows? MG, what say you?
Oh, here I got a coin. Jets? Question mark.
Jets 2.5 points. I'll say the Jets 2.5 points as well. And then our final Monday night game, it's the Bengals. It's the Broncos. Broncos are home, 7 point favorites. What say you?
Give me the horsies. I'll take the Broncos.
Unfortunately, me too. And that does it for our picks this week. I will put the camera on just myself because MG's camera is dead. But until next time, y'all, like, subscribe, do all that. Be a friend, tell a friend. We'll see y'all. Peace.